Let's be real. Gen Z grew up learning how to use filters before they even knew how to drive. And that's not a dig. It's honestly true. Everywhere on TikTok, left and right, you can find different women teaching other women how to use filters. So it's not that surprising that Gen Z is aging differently. What is shocking though is how quickly it's happening. We're seeing 19-year-olds start to book preventative treatments that women wouldn't typically be booking until they're in their late 30s. We're seeing 22-year-olds dissolve and refill the same lips over 3 times a year. And we're seeing buccal fat removal on baby faces that haven't even settled yet. I'm looking at you, Jenna Ortega. You better buckle yourself up. And then everybody at the age of 25 finally looks in the mirror and wonders to themselves why they're looking older.
As someone who's had 10 plastic surgery procedures in her whole life, and I'm 24 just for reference, and someone who up until recently wanted at least 5 more, I had a whole vision board created at the start of the year, achieving all of my fucking surgeries that I wanted, right? I've had such a massive mental shift to not wanting any more surgeries. I don't want to change a single fucking thing. I am so content with myself.
But that's not the only thing that could ruin Gen Z's faces. No. So you know you better buckle up because we're going to talk about the how and why all of this plastic surgery is sending the Gen Z down a really bad path. And I can talk about this from experience because me, myself, I am Gen Z. I am in this gen. So I think I know what I'm talking about. Also, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys throw this video a big fat thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed down below. It means the entire world to me. You guys have no idea how much I love you. The way that we have a connection here on this channel, it's just special, okay? If you get it, you get it. All right, let's hop in.
A lot of people ask me what procedures I've had done. So I've had a breast augmentation, a breast revision, I've had cheek filler, jaw filler, chin filler, under eye filler, and lip filler. I've also had PRP in my under eyes. I've had collagen stimulating threads in my under eyes, PLLA threads. I have had PRP injected into my under eyes and my smile lines. I've had masseter Botox, chin Botox, lip flip, bunny line Botox, crow's feet Botox, brow lift Botox, glabella Botox, and forehead Botox.
And ironically enough, it has a lot to do with cosmetic procedures that were originally intended to make people look younger. So there's been a lot of coverage in the news over the last year about Gen Z's interest in cosmetic procedures just shooting through the roof. And the large majority of these procedures are minimally invasive: Botox, fillers, topicals. But these are also procedures that we normally associate with people who are middle-aged or older who are trying to look younger than they actually are.
So then it gets all weird and like twisted and convoluted. I find it insane because it's like, what are we trying to make younger? Why is it that the 20s have somehow become a lot older than they really are? I thought the 20s always was the youth. And a good example is Sex and the City starts when the women are like almost 30 and they're like just getting on their feet, just becoming women in the city, just getting into relationships, marriages. Like, when did 20 seem old? Like,
Gen Z might be trying to prejuvenate to stave off the effects of aging when they pump their lips full of filler, but that look is one that we associate with people who are much older, people who are trying to rejuvenate their faces. And so the effect on onlookers is a lot like a young woman getting the same haircut that her mom has. They don't literally look older, but they are aged by association. Although sometimes it is not associative or figurative, Gen Z literally does look older. This plastic surgeon noting that the sort of procedures that are currently on trend, like nose jobs, have an effect of pinching and thinning the face out, necessarily making you look a little older. And you might be thinking here, Neil, you're describing something that only a small minority of Gen Z can afford. Where do they get off saying that Gen Z as a whole is aging fast? And the answer here is filters, which also pinch the nose, thin our face out a little, and smooth our lines in a way that make it look like we kind of have something to hide.
see, now with everything he said, why do I even need to have a YouTube channel? Like, he said it all so perfectly. It's the amount of products and skincare we use too. Bro, are you serious? Like, I don't think any generation that came before us ever had a 15-step skincare routine. I'm perceived as older, but I'm a grad student, so the stress has aged me a lot. Oh my God, there's so many things that are tied into this. That is absolutely a massive part of why people age. The amount of cortisol, the stress, not helped by starting to gray at 18. Yeah, no. It's screens and fast food. It's tech neck, you guys. Girlies, we need to get that posture going. What are we doing? We need to keep our backs slim and straight. The moment you're hitting one of these, what are we, the evil, wicked witch of the West? No, we're just girls. First, we need to talk about the rise of the hot girl procedure. Who came up with that idea? 10 years ago, you seriously had to whisper about filler. I don't think I ever really knew about it. All I knew was that some of my friends' moms looked a little different than the others, but I didn't know why. Facelifts at the time were made for literally women with movie star money, and BBLs were an extreme option that very little took part in. Now, half the internet talks about injectables the way that they talk about a mascara. You get your coffee, you get your lip flip, and then you run to Pilates. Don't like the way you look? Don't worry about it. You can just go get a hot girl procedure, top up your lip filler, and even do some looks maxing.
I'm 24, I've spent over $30,000 on my face. Here's what I look like before I had any work done, and here's what I look like today, like years later. But I'm here to break down what I feel like was actually worth the money and what wasn't worth the money. And huge disclaimer, you do not need any work done. You are beautiful just the way that you are. But if you feel like you want something done, if it'll make you more confident and you have the money to spend on it, like by all means go for it. And if you feel any differently about like getting work done, you can politely scroll past this video.
30 grand? Are us girlies going into debt for this? Like, if you guys haven't watched my Reddit deep dive where a wife was literally taking all of her and her husband's money to spend it on plastic surgery procedures and then putting them into debt over it, is that what we're doing here? No, we're so not. That is so not worth it.
Let's talk about everything that I've had done to look the way that I do. Some of you may have seen the video that I did talking about this before, but I have had some new stuff done since, and I think it's just a refreshing reminder that what you see on social media isn't real, and to stop comparing yourself to all the girls you see on Instagram and on your For You page, because we didn't come out the womb looking like this.
Truthfully, I know a lot of you guys would think that me watching a video like this, I would just be like fuming and like steam coming from the ears, like massive hater energy. I actually really love and support the women that go ahead and do this, because I think it takes a lot of courage to come out and say like, yeah, God did not bless me like this. Like the surgeons blessed me like this, girl. This doesn't just come out of nowhere. And I think to own up to that and even have somebody who shows their before picture, like that takes guts and chutzpah, and I can respect it.
I'm looking like this. So starting off, the first cosmetic treatment I ever got was lip filler. I had it done twice at the start of 2023, and I haven't had any since. However, I did get all my lip filler dissolved, I think it was 2 weeks today. So I currently don't have any lip filler at the moment. As you can see, I do just have quite naturally big lips anyway. Before I even got filler, everyone always used to accuse me of lying about when I would say that I didn't have any. I think I am going to go for a refill next week just to get a little bit more in my top lip. Then also, while we're on the topic of filler, I've pretty much had everything. I have had filler in my chin, I've had filler in my jaw, cheeks, tiny bit in my nose because I used to have a little dip here, so I just got rid of that. And then I've also had a bit of a baby Botox as well. I've only ever had that done once, but I can kind of see the lines are starting to come back a little bit, so I feel like I need a top up. Obviously, I'm only 20, and I know a lot of people probably say, why are you getting Botox, like you're so young? The reason I got it is because I used to have these lines in my forehead that you could just always see. And when
She's only 20? Bro, you guys saw it in my face. Who can see where the road goes, where the day flows? Like, I was just like, everything that I've ever known, it was just like, hello? Like, I can tell by her mannerisms, the way she talks, that she's definitely a little bit younger, but it's just something about the look, and exactly like that first video we watched, where it's like, I associate doing a lot of these things and having a frozen face and filled face kind of with older women. So when you see somebody very young getting them, it automatically makes you think that they're way older than you. I don't know why. My best friend and I are like 27 and 28. I'm 28. Why do I always think the girlies look older than me? I am also 5'1", so I mean, like, from behind you might actually think I'm 16. Please don't do more to your face. You literally look perfect, and I feel like people lose touch of what they really look like, and then they ruin it. So please don't do more. There's clearly two sides to this argument. You will have people who are like, slay queen, you're so hot, I love your face, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, do more, do the boobs, you want a BBL, do it. Like, freedom for the women. And then you'll have another side of women that are like, stop it. Like, you don't, there's no need to keep going. I feel like people will get offended by this, but so much work, I feel like it ages people. Like, yeah, you look good, but I thought you were 27 before you said you were 20. Absolutely. It's not even her fault, and it's not the fault of any person that they specifically look older. It's the genuine fact that these procedures are not meant for women that are 20. Your natural lips are unreal. Now, we've talked about this in so many of my filler videos. Once you put filler in your lips will never be the same. So Even though she said she dissolved, I really don't think this is what her real lips look like. I think that everything that you do to your face will warp it in a way forever. It will never be the same. My question is, how y'all getting all this money to do all this? Exactly, me too. Are we doing a student loan and then lying about it? I don't know. All of this transparency helped normalize all of this. At the beginning, it looked like progress. Celebrities started admitting to a little something. Influencers showed the needle on camera and everyone clapped because people were finally telling the truth and being honest about the work that they've gotten done. After years about dealing with all of these different celebrities that would lie about their procedures, the Kardashians, this all felt like a massive breath of fresh air. But all of that honesty, of course, like anything, came with a catch. When somebody with unlimited resources, top doctors, and professional lighting tells you, well, I got work done and I feel amazing, then the next thought naturally is, what's wrong with me for not doing anything? Am I a problem? What's wrong with how I'm living?
You're not ugly. You're just broke. Like, this was me a year ago. This is me today, obviously. I like to think that I went through like a fairly decent glow up, but the thing is, like, my glow up was in direct correlation to an increase to the amount of money that I was making. And it's time that we finally talk about this because I want to be honest. So let's talk about how much money that I spend in a year to be me. Starting off with the gym. So I did actually used to go to a normal gym and weight lift, and that was like $20 a month, but I hurt my back, so I started Pilates. That is $200 a month times 12, which is $2,400. Next up is Botox. I have one frown line that goes up right here. I hate it, so I get Botox 3 times a year times 200. That's around $600. I also get filler. Obviously, my lips, I feel like that's the most obvious thing that I've gotten. I get that about 3 times a year as well, usually like half a syringe, and that is $400 for $1,200 a year. I actually got chin filler too, which I didn't include on this list because it was like...
I'm sorry to interrupt, Queen. I don't like this caption. You're not ugly, you just need to make more money. So what you're saying is that our value is in our looks, and since you're poor, just make more money so you can be hot, because the ultimate goal in life is not only just to make money, but to look our best and to get all this work done so we can be the beauty standard. Huh? You lost me. Yeah. You lost me. What does that even mean? Why do I have to look like you? Everybody wants this, Andrea. What if I don't want to be like you? Oh, don't be silly, Andrea. Everybody wants this. No, we don't. No, because upkeep is so expensive. Who wants to spend on that? Who wants to put Botox near their brain and spend on that? That's insane, you guys. $600 a year for a toxin in my face? What can we do with $600? Like a lot. Like a lot. 600 American, you guys? Oh my gosh. And that doesn't even count the clothes. Not to mention the makeup, the skincare, the hair care products. I'm spiraling. It's like if we're adding all this on top, we're literally living paycheck to paycheck to live up to a certain standard of beauty for other people. Look hot for yourself, of course. Like, be happy, be hot. If there's something that makes you feel better, we've talked about this 1,000,001 times. This is all I ever talk about on my channel. It's the most important thing to me. But I just don't understand. You're not ugly. You just need to make more money. Get out of my face. If I'm making more money, what are we doing, girls? Say it with me. If we're making more money, we're buying a house. Don't make me say it again. Don't make me say it again. Transparency lowered stigma, sure, but it also became a sales pitch for the entire industry. People used to feel naturally guilty for wanting to get surgery done, and how can you even describe that to a friend that asks, like, babe, you're beautiful, why would you want to do that? Now people start to feel guilty about not investing in themselves sooner, and obviously let's double down on that word investing. Like, it's investing in myself. I need to do it for me. And when that new mindset meets a shopping link in the next slide, a discount code, or a brand owned by the same celebrity who set the standard, you can still see how it all snaps into place. Gen Z truly got hit from both angles. On one side, you've got the natural lie that totally ruled the mid-2010s. Girls with heavy editing, face tuning, and procedures that they consistently deny. On the other side, you've got the radical honesty wait, which reveals all of this work, but then frames it as self-love. Do it for yourself because you love yourself, girl. You need to love yourself enough to get that nose job, girl. That whiplash creates one big conclusion. The only way to get a face or a body that you really want is to buy it, either at Sephora, at a med spa, or over the counter in some form of an anti-bloat gummy or a metabolism chew. People love to say, well, at least now it's out in the open. We're not hiding anything anymore. Okay, but out in the open to do what exactly? That openness shifted the responsibility onto you, the viewer. If you're still unhappy, then it's your fault. Your fault for not buying the right serum, for not compressing your body hard enough, for not booking the appointment early enough. Influencers love to present choice as liberation, then sell you a catalog of choices to keep you shopping, pinching your sides, and then second guessing forever. Their transparency comes after the fact. We find out years later which tweak was real and which was a filter, filter. But by then, all of these product drops already trained you to chase the look anyway. Now, of course, we've all heard about botched plastic surgery, right? And it's not that it just happens every so often. No matter who you are, where you go, you need to learn and understand that anybody could get botched.
Hey everyone, I'm going to be talking about my botched plastic surgery journey through 3 nose jobs. So let's get into it. For context, I never liked my nose growing up, and this photo was taken on the operating room bed right before my first surgery. I had a really big bump on my bridge, as you can see in this photo, and I never liked it. This is also how it looked from the front. The tip of my nose was a lot more bulbous, and I inherited my mom's nose, which she also had a nose job on. So clearly good noses just don't run in my family for women, and I always wanted one growing up.
Oh my god, a moment of silence. Like, this is such a rough ride, no matter who you are, because are you going to be somebody that hates your nose, or are you just going to get a nose job and then influence your daughter to also hate her nose and get a nose job? Do you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a vicious cycle, and how do you choose as a parent? And then this girl, Grace, has this perception that her family was just simply not blessed with nice noses, that she did not inherit a nice nose, her mom did not have a nice nose, therefore they needed to get a surgery, that the nose needed to be changed. I was literally just about to say how pretty she is. Regardless, the old picture, new picture, she's gorgeous. She's a really, really pretty girl. It kind of breaks my heart to hear how she's talking about herself, because I don't agree and I don't believe what she's saying to be true. Personal preference.
The goal of my first surgery was that I wanted a mostly straight but slightly sloped bridge, and let me just show you what the outcome was. This is how it turned out, and I was devastated. My nose had what's called a polybeak deformity, where basically there's a convexity to your bridge that makes it resemble a bird's beak, hence that's why they call it a polybeak deformity. The polybeak deformity is actually the most common complication of rhinoplasty. The front of my nose was also very thick, and it just did not look good. So 9 months later, I went back to my original surgeon for a revision, which was definitely a mistake. The reasons I went back to my original surgeon for my revision was because 1, he seemed genuinely understanding of the issue and felt that he could fix it. And number 2 was because he waived his surgeon's fee and I only had to pay for anesthesia, which was $1,500, and nowhere else would I be able to find a revision for that inexpensive.
I am scared. Girl, don't keep going. Already she's set me up to know that this is not going to be good for us girls. But strap yourselves in. Prepare for takeoff. If you weren't buckled up, you should buckle up now. Why would you go back to the same guy that botched it in the first place? 9 months later? What about scar tissue? What about the pain? Oh my god. Self-soothe. We need it in a self-soothe. I feel so worried for her. Just 1,500 bones for my revision surgery. 1,500 bones, bro? I'm calling Dr. Nassif. I am calling Dr. Dubrow and Dr. Nassif.
In retrospect, a major red flag was that he made me sign an NDA before my revision with him, so that's why I'm not saying his name in this video, because I guess I would be sued. But I was so desperate for my revision at the time that I was just willing to go through with it. This was the outcome of my revision, and it was still bad. Not only did I still have a polybeak deformity, but also my columella, which is basically my septum, was retracted up into my nose when it should have been lower. My nostrils were also very uneven, and my nose overall was very asymmetrical. The scar on my septum was also so bad that you could literally see it from the front. As seen here, you can see my septum scar from the front of my face. 9 months after my second surgery, I had my third and final surgery with Dr. Dean Toriumi, who's known to be pretty much the world master of revision rhinoplasty, and he literally changed my life. Dr. Toriumi grafted some of my rib cartilage from my chest to help reconstruct my nose.
God. Bless that man. Bless that man. But this is the thing. It's not like this girl went to any willy-nilly doctor. She didn't just go to her next door neighbor who's having a barbecue and goes, oh, you cutting those steaks? Cut me open too. Like, she obviously did her research, but then 3 nose jobs? 9 months, 9 months, 9 months? Like, I'm actually losing my mind. But botched plastic surgery isn't the only harm. The slow, subtle damage of how you view your face and body is honestly the real disaster. It shows up in tiny daily decisions and a timeline that keeps getting shorter. Botox, fillers and procedures can help you finally get the face or body you want, but then you look back at old pictures and you feel genuinely insulted at your own history. You didn't get ugly, you just got recalibrated. This is where hot girl procedures sneak their way in as normal. If you're already pulling, lifting, pinching with different fabrics and filters on your phone, the jump to fillers and injectables stops feeling like an actual jump. It just becomes maintenance. You just tell yourself that you're finally giving yourself the face that your phone gave you. But the scary part is, over time, even good work can age oddly because trends in fact do change. What was once very popular in the lip filler space is now not popular at all. Big lips aren't ageless. A frozen forehead isn't ageless. A carved jawline in your 20s is also not ageless. These are honestly timestamps. They mark you as somebody who lived in this exact era and didn't walk away from it. You see it with celebrities all the time. Entire generations that all have the same looking features. Cat eyes, puffy lips, straight eyebrows. Because these trendy faces were simply built with the exact same ingredients. This is also why the "they're just giving people confidence" argument just doesn't hold up. Confidence that requires daily maintenance payments is not confidence, you guys.
I was convinced the plastic surgery effect would not hit me, which is like the fact that after you get plastic surgery, like you just like lose your personality, you know, like you just become like one of the girls is what they say. And I was like, no, I was fat. Like I'm always gonna be funny and like smart and goofy. You know, like I spent 25 years of my life like that. I'm not gonna change until I went on a date with this guy, and he was like, so do you ever miss like how you used to look? Do you ever regret anything? And I was like, yeah, I kind of miss like being pretty, you know, because I could only be sexy because of the crazy work I got done. So I miss deciding what I was going to look like that day. Like, am I going to be pretty? Am I going to be cute? Am I going to be sexy? And he just started laughing at me. Like, not with me, like at me. So like, maybe it is happening.
Now think about who grows up inside this. Gen Alpha kids are being raised in a world where before and after is a family business. If the girlie's one generation older than you, treats her face like a brand, and her brand is always optimizing, what do you learn about aging? What do you learn about your own features when they're constantly compared to the best features that money can buy? How can you tell the difference between care and correction when everything starts to be marketed as both? We have normalized spending money on rewriting your entire body and then calling it equality. And you might be thinking on the other side of the screen, well, I like my skincare, I like my shapewear, and I like my Botox, Lael. Fine. That's totally fine, girl. Enjoy it. Don't need to throw everything out in order to see the pattern. The point is to recognize who taught you to hate what you hate and who profits when you hate it. Imagine that you're Gen Z. You grew up with filters as standard camera setting. You watched different influencers deny everything for years and years, and then swing into the world of honesty once it was normalized and that they'd get a pat on the back for it. You learned early that girls that didn't admit anything would actually get praised consistently for being naturally pretty, and the girls who admitted to everything they got done were labeled as real. Either way, the attention flowed to the exact same face. Of course, you concluded that buying the face is the shortcut.
And I am not trying to say this to sound like a mean girl or like judgmental, because I am so for women doing whatever the fuck they want. But this whole Botox and filler thing is getting out of hand. I just watched this video of this girl explaining all the Botox she gets. And she looks beautiful. She looked beautiful before. She looks beautiful now. And what it does and like what her goal is and stuff. And she wants her mouth upturned a little bit, and her nose and this, and her, you know, face not looking angry. It's like all of these things that we're nitpicking. Like at this point, it's not even dudes putting this standard on us. This is us women who have to have your smile perfectly so, and your jawline just snatched, and your nose perfectly sloped, and all these things. And it's like, we're all gonna look the same. Like this is just getting out of hand. Cancel Botox and filler 2025, please.
And see, amen. If I was sitting in a med spa and I said, I don't know what I'd ask for, and that's like hand to God. I actually have no idea. I couldn't say I need a little, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too ocupado. I got too much on my plate. Estoy ocupada. Like, I am so busy. I don't have the time. And who cares? Like, who cares? Like, you're hot regardless. Like, just like be hot. Like, nobody's gonna be able to tell, oh, guy, I need to do a little bit. You're still gonna be hot if you don't do it. So just leave it alone. Of course, surgery seems like the serious version of what you've been doing in baby steps since middle school. The terrible irony behind all of it is that you probably have better skin and better bone structure than half the women trying to sell all of these ideas to you. All these people that are making money trying to sell you a fix that you don't even need. So what now? You can't out-logic the industry by simply yelling at it online. So I'll calm down a little bit. I know I got a little excited in this one. You can't shame people into quitting procedures that they truly believe saved them, but you can choose where you plug in. You can stop treating your face like it's some sort of project that we're constantly tinkering with and treat it for what it is. It's just a face. You can decide that a product that doesn't change your anatomy isn't a failure. The biggest lie that they sell you is that aging gracefully is a passive act that you'll regret. But the truth is honestly the opposite. Aging gracefully is a series of very active choices. You choose not to let your self-image be managed by people whose jobs depend on your insecurities. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, throw out a big fat thumbs up and also comment down below. Have you guys had enough of this? Have you had enough of this crazy Botox and filler epidemic, the amount of plastic surgeries people are getting? And I think that first video said it so well today. Everybody chasing this youthful look at a youthful age. All you're chasing is making yourself look older. Everybody with it, you just look older. So stop. Put it down, girl. If you enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and click here to watch all about how Botox is absolutely ruining your face. Stop injecting such a terrible poison so close to your brain, girl. It is such a bad thing, and there are people that go through full-on paralysis because of Botox. Just take it easy. Or you guys can go ahead and click here to learn about how fillers are literally killing people. Stop doing the fillers. It is not good for anybody. And if anything, if you can get away from all of that and learn to love yourself as you are, as hard as it is, how easy is life gonna be? It's gonna be water off a duck. We got nothing to worry about. You guys know I only make these videos because I love you and I truly want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.